Hello sunshines, welcome to Bunnyfish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as Bunnyfish on a bunch of internet places. And today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me. I'm 40 today. It's very exciting. But that's not what I've come here to talk to you about. I came here to talk to you about my May progress on my long-term whips. It is, hold on, I might have to put up my hair at some point. It is warm in here. And it is, I have the ring light on, so sorry about the glare, but it's evening time. But I want to check in because I don't think I'm going to have time to check in. It's Thursday right now. I don't think I'm going to have time to check in before the end of the month. So let's check in. I did finish 3 of my long-term whip projects, which you can catch information about in the FO video that I did yesterday. So yeah, you can, if you want to see, I finished Mickey the Mermaid, the wedding blanket, and the socks that I was making for my aunt, the partying up and getting down Emerald Isle socks. So I am not that I need to keep it a certain number, but I am bringing in a few more long-term whips that you haven't seen that I'm not planning to finish anytime soon, but I am planning on putting pretty good progress on in the next several months. First up, I have a mitered square blanket. I use the pattern, it's not a pattern, it's some blog posts by Shelley Kang. It predates The Coziest Memory, it predates whatever, all of the mitered square blankets, it predates those. Those came after. So I've never actually looked at those patterns. I don't know if they're any good. I assume they are because people do them. But I just found her tutorial, and this is the 5th iteration of a mitered square blanket that I'm making. Is that true? Okay, so I have my original. I had a big mitered square blanket that I made for my sister. My blue and green mitered square blanket. Made a mitered square blanket for my best friend. I made a really chunky mitered square blanket where I striped the yarns in the miters. So I guess this is the 6th. And this one I totally stole somebody's idea from, I think it was a Ravelry page. A long time ago, I saw one where the first row of every square was in black, so it kind of gives this like very pixely, like stained glass sort of feel, and I love it so much. So in May, I added many squares. 6 squares, that's a lot when I haven't been working on something for a long time. I am making this for myself. I think that could always change, but I think I'm making it for myself. And I don't have a deadline for this blanket. It's not huge right now. Definitely, like, if I filled in this part, it would be a decent sized, like, baby blanket. But I am a big blanket type person. I want it to cover the top of my queen size bed at least, if it's a blanket for me. So it has a ways to go, and I don't really have a goal for this blanket. There's no deadline, but I will be working on it a bunch this summer because I'm doing a temperature. I'm doing a 100 days project that's influenced by temperature, and this is one of the possible. I had a pen. I had a very inexpensive fountain pen that is leaking, but I can't bring myself to just throw it away. I'm going to use it until the ink goes out, even though it's been very messy. I'm very silly. But anyway, that's what that is. What was I saying about this blanket? Oh, 100 Days Project. That's one of the projects that's on the list for the temperature. So hopefully that'll be seeing a fair amount of work. And I also plan to put mitered squares on as I'm doing my sock basket challenge. So I'm not saying it's going to get squared off. I don't know. I'm not putting any goal on that blanket for the summer, but I do want to work on it. Ooh, this is exciting. I don't know what's in any bag because in case you didn't watch the vlogs, I rearranged all of my blankets into bags that are more like suitable for the size of the blanket right now. This is my reading blanket, and this month I finished 2 books. Is that true? 3 books, I think. So this would have been for the second book in the, what is that called? Wandering Inn series. This was for Fae and Fair. And then I finished, which is it's an audiobook, or I listened to it as an audiobook by Pirate Abba is the author. My hair gets everywhere. Anybody else? Green hair everywhere. I know it's mine because it's green. This was for Crescent City #2. Man, I am struggling. I can see it. House of Sky and Breath. So that's what that square is for. And this square is for Son of the Morning by Akwaeke Emezi. Apparently I just can't talk about books right now, but I'm on the second row of my reading blanket, which is very exciting. This blanket is going to take a very long time. I'm okay with that. It's not anything that I need done right away. The yarn that I'm using for the gray is Knit Picks. Oh, I don't have the ball band because I just have this. Knit Picks Swish. I'm not sure of the colorway off the top of my head. I will try to remember to put it in the show notes. If I don't do it this month, or if I don't have it in the video and you want to know what it is, someone just remind me and I'll add it to the show notes later. We'll see how tired I am when I'm editing this shortly. And it is, so that's a DK, Swish DK. And for the colorful bits, so far I think I've only used fingering weight held double. I'm not opposed to using a DK weight yarn to do the colorful bits of the squares though. What size needle am I knitting this on? Number 5, 3.75 millimeter needle. The light gray is provisional cast on because I'm going to do some sort of border in the dark gray. I just haven't decided if I want to do an I-cord or some other type of applied border that's a little bit wider. I haven't decided. I have plenty of time. I'm not even close to finishing this blanket, but I am trying to give it some thought. I have made really exciting progress on the next one. Ugh, it's so big now. It's so big. What if we do it this way? Do you see how big it is? So this is the wrap I have for my aunt, and I think this is like 22 garter ridges. I don't know. It seemed like the project to be picking up this month while I was at my boyfriend's house. Like, yes, I worked on other things, socks. I think I worked on a hat, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it now because I only have this much of this yarn left. So this is probably half of a ball and then one more ball. I'm not going to say that I'm going to finish this in June, but I'm definitely going to finish this ball of yarn in June, which means it's very, very likely that I'm going to finish this wrap in July at some point. I'm holding it 2 strands double, so I have that mohair, and then I have a strand of white Knit Picks Stroll, and it's just a basic chevron pattern. I didn't follow a pattern. I just cast on as many stitches as I needed it to be this wide. It's getting so big. Can't even see it. It's fine. Oh, that looks pretty too. The back looks super pretty. I mean, it's garter stitch, so it's, you know, reversible. But look at how much I've done since the beginning of the year. This is where I was. That's so much. And that much in a month? That's amazing progress. I'm super excited to have worked on this so much. It's been really, really... I feel silly. It's been really, really great reality TV. Crochet or knitting. It's been great for that because my boyfriend and I are watching Farming for Love. It's lovely that he is enjoying it with me. It's not his normal thing, but he does kind of enjoy like the gossipy nature of it. And honestly, it's the end of the school year. I'm a teacher in case you're new here. It's the end of the school year and I do not have brain space for... We're watching Elementary, the Sherlock show. I don't have brain space for that right now. I don't. The Jelly Roll inspired blanket, which previously was in a basket that is out. It has outgrown because I've put so much work on this. Oh my gosh, I've done so much since last month. So I finished the strip I was working on. Where is my marker? Where's the marker? Is that right? Was I right at the end of it last month? Okay. So apparently I was right at the end of the strip last month. And I started the I-cord edging because I know I want this to be I-cord and I don't love doing it. So I'm just trying to, you know, get it going right now. I don't love how that's looking now that I'm looking at it on camera. Like that ridge is really super noticeable. Do I want to pull it back and do something else? No, it's fine. I'm just being... Maybe I do. I didn't pick up stitches along here to then knit into with my I-cord, but now I'm thinking that's a mistake and I need to pick up the stitches. Now that I'm seeing it on camera and like actually looking at it, yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay, goodbye, goodbye. I don't like the way that looks. And okay, we're back at the corner. It's fine. So, not a big deal. I have hair everywhere. I did all of this additionally. So from here to here, is that half of a second strip? No, it's just under half of a second strip. Without like really trying, without making this a focus project, just trying to use up left up bits. That's really exciting. I really like that this second strip is kind of dark and moody, and the first strip is very like bright. I don't want colors next to each other that are too similar, so I think that's working out well. I'm using a US size 6mm. I am using like a heavy worsted weight yarn, kind of. It's 3 strands of fingering weight held together. So, 3 strands. Or a strand of fingering weight held with a DK weight to make this very squishy, very marled fabric. I think it's turning out beautifully, and this is also going to be something that I'm working on hopefully a fair amount this summer. Oh, I did start the border with a specific skein of yarn. Let me see if I can quickly find the ball band. I can. It is Knitted Wit Victory Sock in the colorway Fairy Garden. It's super, super pretty. I have 2 skeins of this, so plenty to do a border. Hopefully. I don't know if it's plenty to do the border when I'm holding it 3, like the strands 3 together. But if I get part of the way around the blanket and run out of yarn, I will figure out something else. It's a scrappy blanket. It's fine. I don't need it to be the same all the way around. Next up, possibly making its first in-person debut on the vlog is a blanket for my youngest. So it's currently attached to this ball. I'm using the inside and outside because it's like a lighter yarn, like maybe a sport weight. It's a baby weight yarn. So I'm making a corner to corner for my littlest. She wants it to be pink, purple, and blue, so I'm doing that for her. I'm using a size I hook. I'm still on the increases. I don't have a stitch marker. I guess I'll put a stitch marker in now so that we know where it is at this point. But my goal is to do 2 rows a week, and I have been doing that. Maybe I did a little more this month. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll put in a marker. So next month we know. Next month you'll be able to see where it was. But yeah, it's just worsted weight acrylic scraps or equivalents of yarn. And I don't really want to buy any yarn for this blanket, but I will if I have to. I just need to, really scour my several acrylic stashing spots. I don't buy acrylic without having a project in mind because I don't really enjoy working with it. It definitely has a place. I'm not opposed to it. Obviously, I've made a lot of things with acrylic this year, but I don't feel the need to have an acrylic stash. However, people like to give me acrylic yarn that they get from like estate sales, or somebody passed away, like a friend's somebody passed away, and oh, here's some yarn, which is lovely. But that means that I have acrylic in a few different spaces. So I need to look and see what else I can find in blue and purple and pink. This is quite exciting, I think. So this is going to be a thigh high for my oldest kiddo. I've already made the first thigh high. This is the second. But look how, come on, done. Look how long it is. It is, like 10 rounds or so. Oh, I have some stitches that jumped off. 10 rounds or so away from being switched onto US size 0 needles. Right now it's on US size 1 needles, so 2.75. No. It's on US 1, 2.25. But I am like super close to switching them onto US size 0, which is 2.0 millimeter needles. And once I do that, then I'm knitting basically just a normal sock. So I'm almost to the part where I'm to knitting a normal sock. So I'm gonna finish this in June. This project is gonna be a long-term whip no longer. It's gonna be finished in June. It's on my goals. I'm so close. These are marking every 15 rounds because I at one point got off count and the math wasn't mathing, and then I counted for real and marked it. And I was like, oh yes, we're good. So that's exciting. The yarn is Haverland Minis. That came from Franken-Skein sets. They're kind of a mess in the bag. They're tied in order. And the kind of light coral color is Dogwood Heather. It's a Knit Picks Stroll colorway. So I used that for basically the inside of the cuff, and then I flipped over the cuff, and then I forgot that I was supposed to change color here, and I was like, no, it's too late. I'm not ripping out all of those stitches because I think the rounds up here are 120 stitches. I just wasn't going to do that. My oldest isn't going to care. They're very scrappy anyway. So yeah, this is going to be finished. You're not going to see this on next month's long-term whip wrap-up. I'm also pretty excited about the progress on this blanket. So this is my Northeasterly. And that's where I was on this stripe last month. So that's all of my progress on this, not stripe, strip of the blanket, because I currently have 4 strips going on this blanket. Additionally, I have 7 strips finished, but they're not attached because I wanted this to be a little more portable than that. But I've also put in nothing on the green, but this much on my like speckle heavy strip, and I still have the ball attached because I need to add more green before I can add more of this, and I need to add more of the speckle strip before I can add my 2026 yarns. I haven't done a strip before based on a year, but I thought this would be fun because for the sock bucket challenge, I'm trying to use up every last bit of the yarn. And so I just went ahead and grabbed the yarns that I had already made projects out of this year so I could use those up too. And I have successfully used up all of my yarns from January, February, March, and April. Not quite May yet, but that's because I just finished a project. So it'll get there. But look at how I cast this on. This is brand new. This whole strip, brand new. That's exciting. I don't have a deadline for this blanket. It's just whenever it gets done, it gets done. So that was a lot of work for something that I'm not like really pushing to get done, because this blanket is for me. And yes, I'm making a lot of blankets for myself. I deserve it. And I just love it. I think it's so pretty. It's gorgeous. Next up, I have my bias strip blanket, and I'm really excited about the progress on this. So first, let me show you this strip. I did my 4 stripes, which is my monthly goal for this blanket. There is no deadline. It's for me. It's lovely. I'm not using a pattern, but I think below I have something linked that's kind of similar. It's lovely. The strip is lovely. Is this where I was at the beginning of the year? That might be where I was at the beginning of the year. This is a drop stitch. That's what that is. And I'm getting pretty close on this strip. I think I said last month that I needed to pull it out and measure. I did not. I should probably do that though and see how close I am to it. And this yarn is from the Cozy Knitter Advent. I don't know what year, but I've got 4 years worth in this strip. And if that had been all that I had done on that blanket, I would be pleased, but it's not. I also picked up a strip that's using other self-striping and worked in the rest of the Emerald Isle colorway that I used for the Partying Up and Getting Down sock. I didn't work in the rest of the yarn. I worked in a repeat of the yarn. Look at that. But that wasn't it. I also had some non-self-stripings that I wanted to put in the blanket. So I put in 4 colors. These were part of the, well, this is the only one, or this one and this one, I guess, are the only 2 that are officially sock basket challenge colors. But this was an unofficial edition. And this one I just wanted to be able to add into my Northeasterly. So I'm really pleased with that progress this month. That's a lot of work on this blanket. You should also expect to see this one in the summer. So I'm hoping to make a lot of progress. I just realized that I forgot one of my long-term whips at school. The Musselburgh-ish hat. I am planning on recording a weekend vlog, and I will be working on that hat this weekend for sure. So I guess you'll just have to check out that vlog if you want to see the Musselburgh-ish, which I'm also planning on finishing in June. So you won't see it on next June's wrap-up video. Anyway, my Totoro Starry Night blanket, I made really good progress on this. I added, so this is a star, and I added some squares to the star motif. I added a lot of squares to the moon motif. And then I started the other star motif. Can you tell? Can you tell that's a star? It's gonna be a star. But look, it's getting so much bigger than it was. Not big, it's not getting big, but it's bigger than it was. And in 10 years or something, this is going to be a beautiful blanket. This is also for me. It also doesn't have a deadline. If I just want to make myself all of the scrappy blankets, it's fine. It's fine. That's so cute. I'm using a 2.0 millimeter hook. I'm using fingering weight yarn. Mostly scraps from things. I haven't bought any yarn for this blanket yet, although I do have some like yarn set aside for some parts. And it's in this cute little Totoro bag. Look at that. Just so cute. Just so cute. I have my car knitting, so I'm gonna guess that last month I was here on this part. No, did I? I can't remember. I didn't move the marker if I had finished up this nugget. I can't remember if I was finished with this nugget last month or if I had started the other sock just because. I don't remember. I'm moving the marker now so I know for next month. This yarn is 716 knit, 716 sock in the colorway Pam's a Trans Ram, and this sock is a 2x2 rib sock for my oldest kiddo. This sock is a stockinette sock for my youngest kiddo. Vastly different stitch counts. I'm making each of them one sock out of this, and also a shorty sock for myself out of this yarn. I had one and a partial skein, so one full skein, partial skein, and then it's gonna work into my blankets. But this lives in my car, it just hangs out there. This is how much I did on a walk yesterday, minus maybe 4 rounds from today. So I don't know, I might finish this sock in June. I'm not going to try to finish this sock in June, but it might happen. I'm about halfway down the foot, maybe a little bit less than halfway down the foot. So if it gets finished, cool. If it doesn't get finished, I'm not too pressed about it, as long as all of this is used up by the end of August, basically. I'm not that pressed about it. I'm not rushing. I did pick up both of my spinning projects. I did a little bit of spinning on both projects, not very much, like 15 minutes per project this month. I really thought I was going to have it this time and be organized. Like, I brought the projects from my boyfriend's house. I thought I was ready. I'm not. It's fine. Maybe I showed this last time. This is a blanket for my littlest, and it's kind of all on itself. Here we go. Okay, I don't need the hook, so I'm using a size F hook. I'm using fingering weight leftovers to make the petals of the flowers. The border is Knit Pick Stroll in white, except here it's Knit Pick Stroll Ash, and the centers of the flowers are just random gray minis. And I do not have all of this together. I was just kind of like seeing how the edge would lay, and I think I'm okay with it. I think I will like it. Do I think I like this? Or do I think, now that I'm looking at it, do I think I need to have normal clusters here, like normal double crochet clusters here, but maybe single crochet clusters across the top of the half hexies, and then do one more round that's double crochet clusters all the way around? I think that might be it. Anyway, so what I do have is the second row started and the entire first row wide enough to lay across my queen size bed attached. I don't know how many hexies that is. I'm not going to count it right now, but I'm excited about that. My goal for the year was to have 50 finished. I need this blanket finished in about 3 years. I probably have all of the flowers I need right over here. I just need to put them together. But again, I'm not rushing on this project. I have several other blankets that I want finished sooner than this one. And let's finish it off by looking at cross stitch. So I have the Christmas tree. I definitely put in at least 2 strands on it. I don't know if you can tell, but I did put in some work on it. Not as much as I thought I was going to put in this month. Honestly, I thought I was going to do more cross stitch this month, but that's not how it worked out. It's fine. I'm definitely going to cross stitch more in June because school's out and it will be sunny more. May tends to be fairly rainy, so not optimal for cross stitching. But June, I will have the whole day where I'm not stuck inside a building, so I can, even if it's just for a little portion of the day that it's sunny, I can make use of that time. And then, are you ready for the little birdle? Oh my gosh, she's so cute. This is Spring Songbird by Nathnalu. Look at that! Oh, she's so cute. I didn't do a ton of work on this cross stitch because I just didn't do a ton of cross stitch this month. But I did, like, I almost have a page. I'm super close to having a page, and it's the page that has the most stitching on it. I'm very close. I want to finish this cross stitch in June. I think that's doable. I just have to work on it. Lies, I found my spinning. It was on my shelf. It was just tucked further back than I could see from where I was seated. So let's look at my silk spinning. I do have already one turtle in there. I don't have the other spinning. It's at Andrew's house. But I did, like, can you tell it's more full? I can tell it's more full than it was last month. Last month I had just barely started this turtle. So yeah, it was only like 15 minutes, but progress is progress. I'm really excited for it. And it is summertime, and summertime means I'm more likely to spin. So those are all of my long-term whips that I actively worked on this month. I do have other long-term whips that I have not actively worked on. It's fine, but they're none of anybody's business right now. Thank you so much for joining me. I am really, really looking forward to finishing a few of these projects this coming month and really, really diving deep into working on my Scrappy blankets. Oh my gosh. I forgot. Today's the first day of my 100-day project. Well, I better go check the temperature like right after I stop recording and go do my first blanket thing. I can't believe I forgot that I was starting that today, but I'm definitely starting it today because I was like, I'll start on my birthday. It's my birthday. So anyway, yeah, I'm about to go make some progress on a blanket, or maybe spinning. I think spinning was one of my alternate things. So anyway, I'm about to go do some of that. That's so silly. All right, friends, thank you so much for coming to check out what progress I've made on my long-term whips. I'm really excited to say that I made progress on every single one that I've been focusing on this year. That's really cool. Nothing fell by the wayside that I had from last month. So definitely look forward to seeing some new long-term whips make their way back into rotation. Not new, some other long-term whips make their way into rotation, because I'm hoping to finish at least two this coming month and one the following month. So it could be cool. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you like what you see and you want to see more. Hit the like button if you liked this video at all. And let me know how your whips are going down in the comments. I love having conversation with you. I will talk to you again soon. Bye for now, friends.